Welcome back to the Mental Playbook podcast. I'm here with Alex Simmons, a father, fitness instructor, and kidney transplant recipient. I'm very excited to talk to him today, and I want you to start out, Mr. Simmons, if you could share a little bit more about yourself and your journey.
Yeah. So my name's Alex Simmons, born and raised here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Avid sports fan, Steelers and Pirates.
Go Steelers.
Definitely. Growing up, I played sports, football, basketball, and track. Football took over in college. I also played in the CFL. I played in the Arena League and a little bit of semi-pro as well. From retiring from all that, I started my personal fitness journey to help other people. So I opened my own studio out here, one-on-one private training and small group training as well. So that's been keeping me busy. Opened a year before COVID, right before COVID. So that was a struggle, but we're still here and we're still plugging away. So that is a huge passion of mine as well as just health and fitness, which embodies everything all around, not just your physical appearance, but it also helps mentally, emotionally as well, stress levels. I think it's all just one circle of things that it works with.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, it's definitely not just about the physical. And I know you dealt with kidney disease, but before that became a part of your life, what did being an athlete and um, being around the fitness realm, what did that mean to you?
I'm just doing that my whole life and being active. It's a huge part and it made me who I am today. A lot of my coaches, a lot of them are positive. So they always talk positive. They have their little sayings or quotes they pull from other people. So all those things sort of stuck with me outside of the sports realm, which is how I live my life. And, it just gives me the motivation to always look forward. If you look at sports, it's like, one more play, forget about the last play. There's always the next, there's always tomorrow. So try to be better. And that's how I look at life. Every day is a chance to be better than you were yesterday. And to keep pushing because none of us will ever reach our full potential, but the goal is to push as close to that door that we can every single day, and just to not be satisfied. We all have days where it was a great day, everything went well, maybe your workout went well, you scored a bunch of points, had a bunch of interceptions, but just to never be satisfied because you have to go back to work the next day and the next day. So just to keep that thought process in mind.
Yeah, I love that. And I love all the messages that you have on your platform. Is how do you get inspired? Like what inspires you to say those positive quotes or just share your insight?
Well, for me, the positive quotes and the positive mindset help me, and by sharing them, they're helping other people. So that helps me and fills me up with so much joy that I could share something, and it's making somebody else look at a situation different, maybe giving them hope, uh, just a different perspective, which we all need, and we all go find it wherever we can. I mean, you can meet a stranger on the street and have a conversation with them, and they said something that could click with you and change your whole mindset for the day. So I think as humans, it's our job to just try to put out as much positivity in the world that we can. The world is already so negative, so just
Mhm.
share a little bit. It helps. Put a smile on someone's face, and keep going.
Yeah, and it's really the small things that matter and that we remember. And it's so interesting because I'm realizing that more just like you said, talking to a stranger, like I remember the conversation, especially because it was so meaningful and it was just a positive moment. And really understanding that those positive moments can really, turn our day even better. And so I really appreciate that you shared that.
It could just be something small. Someone says, "I like your hair. I like your
Yeah.
shoes," and now your whole day is just off to a good start.
Exactly. Yeah. So turning more towards your kidney journey, when did you first realize something wasn't right with your health?
So that started at the end of December 2022. I was getting very bad migraines. And I know a lot about the body being a physical trainer, but kidney wasn't even on my radar. So my migraines, I thought because I didn't have caffeine yet, that's why I'm getting these severe migraines. Those kept continuing. So I actually just went to the ER, told them my issues, and the first thing they did is they check your vitals. They do check your blood pressure. My blood pressure was 260 over 150. So that being that elevated, they continued to do more tests and found out that I was stage four kidney failure at that point. And honestly, everything sort of rushed really fast from just walking in, thinking I'll be in and out. I stayed, I believe, 9 days in the hospital, left the hospital, started dialysis. That was my journey with just changing my lifestyle and training my clients on days with the energy because dialysis truly sucks your energy out of it. For a lot of people that don't know what dialysis is, it basically sucks all your blood out. It goes through a machine, it filters it and cleans it, and then it puts it back in you. So after a treatment, which is my treatment was 4 hours, you're just knocked out for the day. But um, fast forward to the end of the year, I ended up getting a transplant. So from January finding out I was stage four to December receiving a kidney transplant. And my sister actually donated her kidney to me, which I'm very thankful for. And I believe we're all here for a reason. And me and my sister are both adopted. And we don't have the same parents. So the fact that she was a match was just truly a blessing all around. So since that, I've just been trying to live my life and advocate for people to go get checked out, get tested, get labs done if you feel like anything's off, because you never know. I was healthy athlete my whole life, ate right, and just by chance, I went to the hospital and I was, stage four.
Yeah, yeah, you never know. Was there a specific moment when the reality of your diagnosis truly like hit you?
A couple months into dialysis, just being in a dialysis clinic,
Mhm.
there is a lot of older people, just in general, in the clinic as well that have other health concerns. So being in that element, it shows you that you're not too far away. We're all pretty close. But actually, me being there and just being positive motivated them, and them coming in with a smile on their face, and we all help because you all become a family. You see the same people. If someone's not there, you're like, where's so and so at? So all a family and a support group, which was huge. But honestly, going to the clinic and seeing people that I looked at as extremely sick, and I look in the mirror and I'm like, I guess I am on that same level here. This is something that is truly major.
Yeah, and I bet it's really difficult to see that change, especially with you and fitness and being active. It's definitely hard to look at yourself that way. But it is nice that there became a community there for you. Um, and so kidney disease, like many other obstacles and challenges, is something that people can't really understand unless they've been through it. What was the hardest part that people didn't really see?
Just looking at someone physically, you wouldn't know that I'm in kidney failure, that I'm going to dialysis, unless I told you. Having a shirt on, you couldn't see the port. But just the fact that it doesn't matter how healthy you are. It doesn't matter if you eat right your entire life. There's things that are genetic that at some point in your life you will have kidney failure. For mine, I have a genetic APOL1. I have G1 and a G2 gene that makes me highly likely to have kidney failure at some point, no matter if I do every single thing right from birth. But in hindsight, the positive side is that I did get it when I was younger,
Mhm.
so I could fight it and keep going rather, finding out when I'm 60 and 70, just the pure energy level to keep moving, slowly slows down as we get older. So looking at the bright side, I'm glad I got it when I'm this age and not later in life.
Right. And so there are moments in life where there isn't an immediate solution, and you finding out that you're already at stage 4, that's definitely a big jump. How did you handle living with so much uncertainty?
I mean, honestly, it still didn't really click.
Yeah.
In my mind, I was like, what pill do I take so I can get better?
Hmm.
What do I do? And they were like, what, you're not going to get better. There's nothing we can do. You're going to be on dialysis until you get a transplant. So I've had other surgeries that I've had knee surgery and shoulder surgery. So mentally in my head, I'm like, all right, how many weeks before, I
Hmm.
can go back to running or to doing this? They're like, you're not understanding. This isn't, I can't tell you. So honestly, it didn't really hit me until months and months after dialysis that I'm like, this is my everyday life now. So
Yeah.
I need to get comfortable here, get used to it, and figure out a way to keep moving forward.
Yeah. And so that really, I guess, brings up the mindset and mental aspect of it. Because while you can't do anything physically, you, like you said, you have that positive mindset. And I know with fitness, even just like working out for me, it can be easy to give up and, hard to keep going. So looking back now, is there a moment you wanted to give up mentally, and what changed your perspective?
There wasn't a moment at all. Everything that I do in my life, my daughter is in the back of my head.
Hmm.
So I need to be here for a very long time for her. So it was not an option for me at all. Whatever I had to do, I'm going to do that. Whatever food they wanted me to eat less of, XYZ. My mind can just switch. I love Kobe Bryant, one of my favorite players, rest in peace, but he's known for mama mentality. He can just turn a switch and he's a different person. So I can do that, not to the level that Kobe can, but I can mentally block out a lot of things and just focus on what's in front of me.
Yeah, I love that. Um, do you think that's something you were born with, or that's something that you kind of developed throughout your athletic journey, fitness journey, and kidney journey?
I would say just growing up and just being active, I think it just became a part of me. You maybe when you're younger, you're not getting picked first. Everyone wants to get
Yeah.
picked first. And, you're like, why? Okay, work harder. Um, I remember I didn't make a team, and I asked the coach, "What do I need? What do I need to do to be better to make the team next year? You need to do X, Y, Z. Okay, I'll work on X, Y, Z." So it's always just been overcoming. When I hear no, you can't do that. That just makes me want to
Yeah.
prove you more that I can do it. That's not possible. Yes, it is. And we've seen so many people, not just in sports, do amazing things in the world that their teachers, their peers never thought, that individual could reach.
Yeah.
It's it's amazing. The mind, once it focuses and locks in, you can do amazing things.
Yeah. And so, as someone whose life revolved around movement, how did you separate your worth from your physical abilities?
Yeah, so my whole workout changed, which I had to get used to. I was used to just lifting heavy things. So now to focus more on lightweight, more reps, actually focus on cardio a lot more.
Hmm.
Since I'm not playing football or anything, I didn't really hit cardio as much as I should. So now the mindset I took was I'm working out for my health.
Yeah.
I'm not working out for appearances, for strength to move somebody out of my way during sports. I'm working out to get everything internally here. So that's the mindset I had to switch, which I'm still working on actually.
Yeah.
Still working on because it's very humbling. I lost about 15 to 20 pounds of muscle. So
Wow.
the weights I used to push, I can't even touch them now. So that's just that aspect because with a knee surgery, you can get back to whatever weight you push. With something like a kidney, it's your physical body is still there, but mentally you don't understand why you can't pick up this 10-pound weight. It's a hard transition. because
Yeah.
there's really no fix. It's not, we fixed your knee, you'll be good, you can run, do whatever, no limitations.
Yeah.
That's the
I know
the
you're free to
hardest
go.
thing. Free to go, yeah. I'm free to go. I have no limitations now, but
Yeah.
I have limitations personally, just physically, with all the medication I'm on that are preventing a lot of things that just weren't in your body. So you have a lot of moving parts now.
Yeah. And so when your body can no longer do what it could, how did that change how you felt about your identity, about your body itself?
Definitely challenging. Like I said, I'm still looking at shirts are a little bigger, pants are a little bigger now, but in hindsight, I look at a lot of athletes when they retire. They don't look like how they played. If you see a lineman and you see them now, you're like, you were a lineman? They're like, yeah. You're like, really? And they're like, well, I don't have to eat that much. I don't need to keep all this extra weight on me. So that's the kind of approach I took is I'm retired. I still, play basketball, do stuff for fun, but I'm not trying to go as hard as I did in my 20s and in my 30s.
Yeah. So overall, what fears were the hardest to admit during this journey, even to yourself?
Just like this is something that's forever.
Hmm.
A transplant doesn't take away the disease. Excuse me, the disease is still there.
Yeah.
I could need another transplant in 5 years, in 10, 15 years. It's not a permanent fix. So the goal is to try to be as healthy, be as conscious with the food you take in to make that gift of life last as long as it can.
Hmm. And that your sister gave you her kidney, that must have meant so much. Um, how did you feel in that moment when she told you, or how did that come about?
It was very selfless of her. And at first I didn't want her to give it to me. I'm the big brother. I'm supposed to protect you your entire life. So it was hard, but I understand her thought process. She's thinking of, my daughter, her niece, and all those other areas. And, I mean, honestly, I'm just really thankful for her and stepping up to the plate when she wasn't even asked to.
Yeah.
She took it upon herself to get tested and ended up being a match. And, here we are.
Yeah. And so you also shared that you both were adopted. What do relationships mean to you, especially the meaningful ones, even if it's, not biological?
Yeah. Well, all relationships are very important to me in general. I was adopted as a baby. So was she. So the family we have, the parents, that's all we know.
Yeah.
But relationships in general, and then even when I had my daughter, it was just like this is mine. This is me. I can see me in her and things, and that just meant the world to me. So that is a good question. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize the relationships we have in our adult life are based off our childhood and
Mhm.
things that have happened, negative and positive, how they affect us as we get older.
Yeah, definitely. Because I do think, yeah, um, like even for me, experiences at a young age still like impact me now. And especially with like the connections around me also being in college, learning how to navigate different relationships. Um, it can be difficult, but yeah. So during
We'll
that,
always be learning.
yes,
Always
exactly.
be learning.
Yeah. And I love that. I love that it's always going to be a learning process because then that's how you kind of improve yourself and that's where the growth happens. So during that season of your life, what did resilience actually look like?
uh it looked like, every day just being, if it's 1% better every single day, because being on dialysis and all the medication, you have a lot of variables that are working against you.
Mhm.
They're working in a positive way, but they're working against you in a physical aspect as of energy levels, just even eating. Sometimes I don't even have an appetite, but I need to eat. So I actually focus on a lot of protein shakes because you can just drink them real fast and still get everything in. But just to not look bad. I mean, I missed two dialysis. Uh, Not because I was lazy. It's like my body, I just couldn't really physically get out of bed to get there. So that's why I said I'm glad it happened to me at a younger age rather than later in my life. So a a little more give to keep pushing.
Yeah, definitely. And so, how has navigating something like this changed the way you approach other challenges that would have once felt overwhelming?
Right now, nothing, no challenge in my life so far is even close to what overcame and
Yeah.
am still going to be overcoming every single day. And that's how I look at it. And it really opens your eyes to a lot of the things that we complain about in our lives are the least of
Yeah.
your concern,
Yeah.
which is sad that something has to happen to you, family member, a friend, for us to truly grasp how special our life is. If there was a way that we could grasp it right now, it would be great. But it takes something negative to happen in your life to yourself or someone you know to actually kind of be like, really, this is a blessing that I'm here. A lot of people we just complain about normal things, and your problems. Somebody wishes that was their problems based on what they're going through, and you don't want their problems.
Yeah.
So you better be just thankful that your problems are yours, because I wouldn't trade my problems to anybody else.
Yeah. I know that's how I look at loss, like whether it's a relationship breakup or just actually losing someone. It's when they're not there, you kind of realize like, oh, this is what I'm missing, either positive or negative. So it's really interesting to see, even like you said, like everyone has their own challenges, and would you want to take their challenge? I don't know. And so it is kind of really understanding that, well, now this is what you're dealing with, and you can choose to accept it and move on, and or also just be grateful for that challenge.
100%.
So you inspire others through fitness, but what do you hope people take away from your story?
To never give up in any situation in life. Whether you're in school, you're studying in a job, or trying to leave a job and do something you love. We only have one life. It's short, I believe, maybe 80 summers. And when you put a number on 80 summers, you're like, that's it.
Yeah.
And that's including from when you're a kid, the ones you don't remember, and until you're an adult where you can actually do some things you want to do. And that's not a long time. And that's even if we're lucky, to see 80, 70 summers. So every day just to be thankful and embrace everything, the good and the bad. But at the end of the day, you control your own mindset and move forward with positivity and love. It's is the way, and just sharing that with the world. Like I said, making someone's day that you don't even know. It's being nice to a stranger. It's
Yeah.
the little things that truly stick with people.
Yeah. And it's scary to hear you say that, like 80 summers. And especially with technology, social media, the amount of time we are on screens is also really scary to realize because it's like, well, looking back, I don't want to like I'm not gonna miss being on my phone or like, I'd rather hang out with people. And so I think it's for me, what's meaningful is finding those happy moments and finding the things that really make you smile and the things you enjoy. So, what are some of those things that, light up your day, that any passions or hobbies that you really love to do?
Spending time with my daughter, that's number one. He's 13 now, so I'm not as cool as I used to be, but just doing different things with her now. The growth that you don't see as your kids get older now. So the playground visits and having fun turn to shopping and dinner dates now. So to see that growth is amazing and just lights me up. Working out as well. That's always going to be number one. Whatever you're going through, you always feel better after a workout or a run, playing basketball, just anything active. You might not like it when you're doing it, but afterward, you're
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm glad I did that. That wasn't that bad. I like to write and post things on social media. It brings me joy just to inspire people, even if you don't know.
Hmm.
You don't need to get recognition. You don't need to get a message. Hey, thank you. It's out there, and hopefully it reaches who it reaches, and that's that.
Yeah, we get to choose what we want to do with it. And I love that part. I think, yeah, being able to use that platform for the positive and for the good really does make a difference because I do know when your stuff will pop up for me, I'm like, wow, like that really changed my perspective on this thing, or, it can just really help me understand certain things. So I really appreciate all that you are doing. I also wanted to ask you, going back to your sports journey and um, just being on different teams, what are some of the skills or lessons learned that you still think about today and even
Mhm.
apply it?
I would say a schedule.
Hmm.
I like a schedule, and when you're not in sports, you don't really have a schedule.
Yeah.
It's not 6 a.m. run. You have class, we'll say, then we have practice, then you have study group, then you have this. So that's what I miss the most is the structure.
Yeah.
So once you're out of sports and in the real world doing your job, it's hard to maintain a structure. Well, not maintain, but to get on a structure. There's so many variables that are pulling you. The average American is going to work their 9 to 5, they're going to happy hour, they're going home, and that's that. So for me, structure is everything, everything. And I've learned that from sports and consistency.
Mm, yeah.
Whatever you're doing, even working out, people say a lot of people that work out are crazy because you're going every day, you're not seeing results. But 6 months, a year, now you're actually seeing the results. So it's just the consistency on whatever you want to accomplish, whatever you want to be great at. It's consistency. We all have our bad days. It's a given,
Yeah.
but just to keep going, even if a bad day turns into 50% effort,
Yeah.
it's better than a 0% I missed. Because
Mm,
now mentally that's going to weigh on you. And I know if I miss a workout on Monday, I'm like, well, this week is shot. So I'll start next Monday. You can go on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, as long as you're just trying to do something and keep chipping away.
yeah. And so how do you show up when you're going through a difficult time or you are having a bad day?
Just getting there. And once you're there and you're around people, or if you're doing something by yourself, going on a walk, once you're there, you really have no excuse. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be the person that drives to go get a walk and like, "Oh, I'm just going to walk back to my car."
Yeah.
You have that sort of guilt.
Hmm.
So whether you do 5 miles today or you do one, I'm like, that's still a win. 'Cause I
Yeah.
could have did zero. I could have stayed at home easily. I could have just watched TV, but I did a little bit, and the little steps, you know, make bigger. If you think of a baby crawling, walking, running,
Hmm.
you have to do these steps. You can't skip. There's nothing that you can do to skip on.
Yeah, and it's definitely those small wins that matter because it does feel good. Like I worked out this morning and I'm so glad I did because I could have slept in longer, but I chose to get up and be there even if I couldn't give it my all. But it definitely feels good after doing it, especially or even if it's not like my full 100%.
100%. But your 50% could be someone's 100%.
Hmm.
So to never knock yourself down because you only did 50% today, that's
Yeah.
still better than what you could have done. Or I'm sorry, it's still better than nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. So if someone listening is, in the middle of a battle where there isn't a clear answer yet, whether, it's a health issue or a loss or just something else like an injury, what would you want them to hear today?
Normally, when you want answers or you want a plan, a road to take, it doesn't show up. So I would just say stay the course. And when it's time, whatever you're looking for will be brought to light. You can't force the answers. I wish you
Yeah.
could, but in time, maybe it's even in 5 years, something clicks and you're like, okay, that's why. I would
Hmm.
just say stay the course.
Yeah. And trust the process. Yeah. So, my last question for you, I ask this to all my guests, and that is what matters most to you? The destination, the journey, or the company, and why?
Hmm. I would say the journey because I appreciate the journey
Yeah.
and because you know all the work you put in to get there. So whether you're getting your diploma, you know what you put in to get there. The company, I would say that plays a role, but believe that you have to motivate yourself to
Hmm.
do that because sometimes company can pull you in a different direction. And the destination, I think, is encompassed with everything because that's a goal. I
Yeah.
look at destination as a goal. So whatever it is, sometimes you have to leave some company behind because I need to do this. I can't go out with you tonight. I have to study. I have to cook, meal prep. So I would say the journey. I appreciate the journey, doing the work. And then once you get there, it's just feels so much better, which nobody else will ever feel that but yourself because you
Yeah.
know the late nights, the early mornings, whatever you did, that's just, gratification for yourself. And it shows you that you can do anything you put your mind to.
Right. Yeah. You're
Mm.
the one putting in that work, and so you're gonna get whatever rewards come out of it. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Simmons, for joining me on the Mental Playbook. To my listeners, mind strong, game on.
Thank you for having me.